MLB players who revived their careers from the dead. Back in 2007, Rick Ankiel's career was basically over. He'd famously started off as a pitching phenom for the St. Louis Cardinals, showing up in the majors as a teenager with a blazing fastball and a curveball that just dropped right off the table. But what happened next is honestly one of the craziest stories in all of baseball. You see, Ankiel's pitching career ended not because of an injury, but because of something called the yips. It was like his arm just stopped listening to his brain. He went from striking guys out in the playoffs to suddenly not being able to throw a strike. In one playoff game, he even threw 5 wild pitches in a single inning. Imagine being a top prospect 1 minute and then completely falling apart on the biggest stage. But believe it or not, this disaster was only the beginning of his wild journey. The thing is, after struggling to get back on track and even drinking vodka before games just to calm his nerves, Ankiel eventually had to face reality. He wasn't coming back as a pitcher. Most guys would just walk away. But instead, Ankiel did something almost no one else would even dream of. He decided to totally reinvent himself and start over as an outfielder. But what happened after he made that decision is absolutely shocking. As it turns out, Ankiel restarted in the minor leagues, and he absolutely mashed in the minors, hitting home runs like crazy. And then, after spending years away from the majors, he finally got called back up to the Cardinals, but this time as a hitter in 2007, and nobody was ready for what he was about to do next. What I mean is that in his very first game back, Ankiel smacked a 3-run home run in front of a sold-out crowd, and the place went wild. Then he just kept going. In just 47 games that season, Ankiel hit 11 home runs and had a slugging percentage over 500. He was hitting like an all-star after years away from the big leagues, and it wasn't just his bat. As an outfielder, Ankiel had this cannon for an arm that made base runners stop in their tracks. The guy who used to throw wild pitches was suddenly gunning down runners from the outfield with throws right on the money.